back, Amador County. Pleased to have Bailey here in the studio this morning to talk about the Sierra Foothill Harvest Brewfest.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like good times.
It is. We're having a craft brewfest at Jackson Rancheria in the Grand Oak Ballroom.
Great.
October 20th, which is a Sunday, from 1 to 5, and a portion of the proceeds is going to Second Generation, which is a nonprofit in Amador County that gives back to the children that are in agricultural programs like 4-H and FFA. So we're excited about that, and I have about 15 different craft breweries signed up so far. We're looking for a few more, and some live music and food. And all for $20. Plus, you get $10 free slot play at the end of it. So really, it's like $10.
Right.
Oh, great.
Right.
Well,
yeah. It could even be more than that.
It could, yeah. Your $10 could turn into you never know what,
wow.
right? So, yeah, exactly. So we're really excited about that. Craft Brew Fest up at Jackson Rancheria. It's inside, so October, we don't have to worry about the rain.
Right.
We have two great bands. We have Darren Sexton and Highway 49 starting out, and then we have Stephanie Ray Band ending off the event. We also have a fun little busking group for the lobby, a group of 4 guys actually from Fresno called Smokefish that do some busking and really kind of folk funny music. And some great food and wonderful beers. We have Snowshoe from Arnold's coming to visit us, as well as Dust Bowl from Turlock, some local ones, Tioga Sequoia from Fresno, and then we have some bigger name ones like Sierra Nevada and Drake's and 21st Amendment. Ninkasi's on board, so a lot of good breweries are coming out to showcase some of their special beers.
And it's everything from light to dark.
Oh yeah, whatever they want to bring. We're actually having a cider company come too, so
how fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What sounds good?
What does it take to be called a microbrewery? Is it a certain amount of production? Is it?
It's more of like a craft brewery. Microbreweries kind of turn into the word craft brew. It's kind of just a more unique way of making beer instead of what everyone's traditionally used to of Coors and Budweiser, which is great and good after a lot of, being out in the yard all day. But different beers are forming into different tastes, IPAs and saisons. There's even some sours coming out right now that are really kind of fun.
The pumpkin one is good.
Pumpkin ones are great. That's fall
You ever had pumpkin
season.
beer?
No.
Oh, it's good. It is
So-
good. And I'm not a beer. I have to drink non-alcoholic beer and everything non-alcoholic because I'm a cheap drunk. And I go nuts after a drink or two. But I love the pumpkin, the fall beer.
The fall beers where they have like some nutmeg and some cinnamon in it.
Good flavor. Very good flavor.
Pumpkin pies,
Yeah.
but liquid.
After 2 of those, the hell with the pie. Just bring
Right?
out pumpkin beer. It's great.
So craft brew is kind of more of what people are calling it now. Micro means small.
Right.
So a smaller brewery that doesn't do big production. So we're having a few microbreweries with a lot of craft beer.
A lot of work goes into that. I call my bonus child, John's son, my husband's son. Kenny's got his whole garage set up, and he even grows his own hops.
That's fantastic.
And he said you can actually watch them grow. They grow in a day. It's amazing.
They look like little tiny puffy pine cones,
They
and they're
do.
green.
They
smell fantastic
Unbelievable.
too.
And he's been doing his for quite a few years, and it started out with Andrea just buying him a thing just to
Have
see if
fun.
he enjoyed it. And by gosh, he's turned it into something unbelievable.
Good. Well, maybe he wants to pour some of his beers
Right,
at
I was
the
going to say,
Brewfest.
when you sign him up.
I should get him up here. Tell him to come up here and sign up for
Right,
that. It'd be a lot of fun.
right.
But I've had some, and boy, they can really knock you on your feet.
They
off your
can,
feet.
but then there's also not all microbreweries and craft beers have to be heavy in alcohol.
Right.
A lot of them are actually turning back the dial and going back to something that's a little bit more of a what we call a gateway beer, because the people that are drinking Budweiser and Coors are scared of like the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and the IPAs that are really hoppy and bitter. And so some of the breweries are going back and making lagers and that are light and refreshing. A lot of them are adding fruit to their beer, like 21st Amendment's putting watermelon in their wheat.
Oh, yeah, I'm
so
right
it's
there.
really good summer beer.
I love that. I love this.
I had a strawberry wheat the other day from at a brewfest in Sacramento. So yeah, a lot of people are kind of toning down a little bit and giving the public that isn't big, bitter, and hoppy flavors.
Right.
they're opening it up to them as well. So
I like this. I call it sissy beer because
Yeah.
I have to drink the sissy beer.
Might have
but-
to turn Nikki onto that watermelon beer.
yeah, it's
that'd be
really good.
Yeah, it's the different flavors are so great, and like I said, it's there's nothing better than a cold beer on a hot day.
Oh, I agree with you. Or a really dark beer on a cold night. I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
That works either way.
The pumpkin in front of the fire.
Oh, Bailey's
Right.
Having good.
I can see it in the smile.
I know, right? Sorry, I'm getting.
Bailey's got something for every hour of the day that she's awake.
I know. No. I work most of the hours.
Yeah.
But other than that, at Jackson Rancheria, you did hear about Operation Care's 5K run.
Right.
It's going to be so exciting. It's at night, and they're doing all the glow paint, so it's going to look like a bunch of aliens running through the
How
fields.
fun.
It's going to be a bunch of fun. And then we have some great concerts coming up, and
Good.
we're doing a lot. We're having
You got to
fun.
bring the Beach Boys back.
You want the beach? You say that every time I'm on.
Every time.
I'll let them
I
know.
tell
I'll let
Bailey,
the entertainment
you gotta
crew
get
know.
the Beach Boys back, and you know who else is good as George Thorogood
Okay.
and little Corey from
Oh,
up country.
Corey Gibbs.
You get
You
that
know,
kid on there, and boy, I'll tell you, you'll sell out. That kid's dynamite.
We, as a county, are fortunate that the Jackson Rancheria is community involved,
Right.
and bringing Operation
Thank you.
Care,
Yeah.
and bringing Seth Seaver's second generation group to help them raise money.
Yeah.
I know he does a lot of work throughout the year to make that program happen.
Right. Well, also, our park and recreation program right now, our tribe is really working on the Chasse Indian Grinding Rock, and they're looking for volunteers. So if anyone wants to come up and dig a little bit
Right.
or put in some time and get to know the tribe and give back to what our tribe has given to Amador County, that would be great as well. And we have a
you
Facebook
keep giving,
page.
You keep giving and giving and giving, and I know it's not said enough, but the Rancheria needs to be thanked
get thanked.
all the
Thank
time
you.
because you people do a great job, and I think people don't understand that. They give so much without saying anything, and they do so much without expecting anything back. So it's
Yeah.
good to support all of these, not only all of these different events that you have, but just to go in there and sit down and have a nice little dinner,
Yeah, the
or
food's great,
lunch,
yeah.
and put your loose change in a machine and
You
enjoy.
should go see some of the great stuff at Chasse going on right now. It's beautiful.
That'll be great. Yeah, get out there and go help them out.
Speaking
Yeah.
of giving, I think Alan sat down at one of the chairs one night, and you guys,
just heard the
you guys
story.
gave back to Alan.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
he was
We like our winners.
You bet.
We do.
he was so excited.
I
to
think
tell
it's
you.
great. Bailey, thank you, my dear.
Thank you for having me.
You're very
Absolutely.
welcome.
We're going to run to an ad break. We'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
Hi, Rich Hoffman at Jackson Rancheria Casino Resort.